Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the DST, or Diamond Select Toys, the Green Hornet Kato. Kato is a sidekick from the Green Hornet TV show, played by Bruce Lee. Now, I personally think it's insane to make Kato first, and not start with the Green Hornet. Now, I saw a representative from Diamond Select posting on the Foosh forums, and I asked if they were going to be making a Green Hornet figure, and he said it's being discussed, which doesn't exactly bode confidence to me. Hopefully we get the two of them together, because one by himself just doesn't really do it for me. I ordered this figure from Big Bad Toy Store, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, there's a warning, ages 8+, Diamond Select Toys, Kato Deluxe action figure from the Green Hornet, and here's a Green Hornet. Here he is in the package. Looks like he has a staff, some nunchucks, bunch of alternate hands and head. One side, Green Hornet. Other side, same thing. At the back, here's the figure. A couple of different display options. We have the hat on, hat off. And at the bottom, a bunch of credits. And there is his barcode, in case it helps anybody. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we have this figure out of the package, here he is with all his accessories laid out. He comes with 7 alternate hands, totaling 9 interchangeable hands, a total of 2 heads, a large staff, and some nunchucks. But before we take a look at those, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Kato, Green Hornet's sidekick from the old 60s TV show. Now this is the first version of Kato they're making. They're also making a version in a white outfit. He kind of have his chauffeur's hat on, just like in the show, always driving around the Green Hornet, but being the better fighter of the two. Now, I saw some posts from Diamond Select representative on the Foosh forums, and I asked them if they're going to do a Green Hornet figure, and they said it's under consideration. To me, it doesn't really make a lot of sense giving us a sidekick and not Green Hornet. Do not misunderstand me. I know Bruce Lee has a huge fan base and following, but you gotta have Green Hornet to go along with Kato. And the fact that they're making 2 versions of Kato and currently no versions of Green Hornet tells me maybe they don't have the likeness for that guy. I don't know. We'll see. But I really, really would like to have Green Hornet to go alongside my Kato. So anyway, let's take a look at the figure. So, start with his head here. He's got that sort of driver chauffeur hat. He's got a domino mask on. Then he has this outfit here. Also kind of looks like a chauffeur outfit. Buttoned up all across the side. Totally in black. Double jointed elbows. Double jointed knees. Looks like some dress slacks. Dress shoes. Figure looks good. Kind of basic. I can sure see some hints of Bruce Lee's likeness behind the mask there. And just a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Looks pretty good. Could see some pretty cool uses for this figure. My boy Bone told me he was going to get one of these and convert it into an Alfred chauffeur version for Bruce Wayne. Sounded like a pretty cool idea. Something else I wanted to point out. He's got, I don't know, some red sort of around his eyes inside the domino mask. Almost like his eyes are bleeding, crying blood. Drop me a line in the comments below. Am I not remembering something? I do not remember anything about red around his eyes inside the domino mask. Looks pretty weird. But there's no red around this figure, so it's not like it's a paint blotch from something else. I'm truly confused here. And here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories. And let's start off with his hands. So he has a total of 9 hands. 5 right hands. 4 left hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. Then, with his next pair of hands, this is a pair of gripping hands. And here's his third pair of hands. This is another pair of gripping hands with a much larger grip. Here's his next pair of hands. His right hand is an open, flat hand. Could be a karate chopping hand. And his left hand looks to be a grabbing hand. And here's his final right hand. Looks to be an alternate hand, holding a dart, one of his signature weapons in the show. Now let's look at his heads. He has 2 of them. They both have the domino mask on, but one of them has a hat on, and one does not. Here's his first head. This one has the hat on, the domino mask, those weird red spots around his eyes. And if you look at the head next to the neck, boy, look at that skin tone mismatch. And here's his other head. This one doesn't have the hat on. Hair looks good. Totally Bruce Lee style. Paint is pretty bad on the domino mask. On the right side here, it's very faded. He doesn't have the weird red spots around the eyes. I don't know, both heads seem to have some paint opportunities. Now let's look at his staff. Pretty much a long black stick. Not much to talk about here. Here's Kato holding that staff. He can hold it with either one hand or with two. Now let's look at his nunchucks. Of course, we've got two black sort of sticks here. The plastic simulating a metal chain here. Now it does have some bend to it. Not a bendy wire, but does have a little bit of give. Here's Kato holding that nunchuck. And just like a staff, he can hold the nunchucks with either one hand or with two. Now his regular gripping hand holds both the nunchuck and the staff, so I don't know why he has all these other alternate hands. Sure, the fists, the grabbing hand, the dart, but why the larger gripping hands? There is nothing for him to hold with those. Now that I've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his hat, standing at about 6.75 inches tall, which can translate to about 17 centimeters. Now for his articulation. Start with his head. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. He can look up and down about that far. Can tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on the ball joint goes out about 90 degrees, up, down, around, all that good stuff. He's got a bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. They go all the way in. His wrists can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. His torso seems to be one solid piece. Got a ball joint in his waist, rotate around, forward and back. Now I will say there is some sort of an ab crunch, or it feels like a ball joint here, but it seems kind of pointless. You're not going to be able to stick any of those poses. I don't even know why they would include that. Legs, complete to the splits, not a ball joint, diamond select style hip joints. Legs go forward about that much, back about that much. He does have a thigh cut below that. Double jointed knees below that, and then his ankle here, forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and that's about it on the articulation side. Here's an image of Kato standing in front of the Black Beauty. Now this isn't the actual Black Beauty, this is simply the Batmobile from the Batman, but it works as a fill-in for now. Maybe one day some company will give us a version of the Black Beauty. Now that would be nice. And he does actually fit into this car. So if they ever make a Green Hornet to go along with this Kato, we could actually put them into this car and have some sort of fill-in for Green Hornet, Kato, and the Black Beauty. That would be nice. Time will tell. Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures. Starting off with some of the Bruce Lee figures. Here he is, next to a previous Diamond Select Bruce Lee figure. This is Bruce Lee in his yellow tracksuit from the movie Game of Death. And here he is, next to yet another Diamond Select Bruce Lee figure. I believe this one is from The Way of the Dragon. Here are all of my Bruce Lee action figures. They're all from Diamond Select Toys. I know there are others out there, but these are the ones that caught my attention. 7-inch scale. And here he is, next to a NECA 1966 Adam West Batman figure. 7-inch scale. I do remember an episode of the 66 Batman series where Batman and Robin crossed over with Green Hornet and Kato. Really cool episode. It would be really cool if we could complete both these teams. Here are two 7-inch scale figures, each one just half the team. We really need a Green Hornet to go along with this Kato, and it would be really nice to have a Burt Ward Robin to go along with this Batman. But I will admit, of both the duos, if I had to pick one figure to be made, it would be Kato and Batman versus Green Hornet and Robin. Still, I long for a day to complete the teams. Now McFarlane is doing some smaller scale 6-inch Adam West 1966 Batman figures. Here's Kato, next to a smaller scale Batman and Robin. I think it'd be pretty cool if they were able to sneak in a Green Hornet and Kato into the smaller line, just because of crossover. And it'd be really cool if they made a Black Beauty in this scale for those figures. Now let's check him out. Next is some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in, both scale and style-wise, in case you know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a Diamond Select toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. You may notice he's a little bit shorter than the other Diamond Select figures, but Bruce Lee, Kato, was a little bit of a smaller guy. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his Diamond Select Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from Diamond Select Toys, all 7-inch scale, and then next to even more Diamond Select Toys. And now, next to some Jakks Pacific wrestling figures. Here's Kato, next to a pair of pliers. And here he is, next to some McFarlane toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestlers. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Hornet figures. So overall, this is a pretty cool Kato figure, but what's a Kato figure without Green Hornet? I really hope they do Green Hornet in the long run, or it's going to make this figure seem kind of pointless. His accessories are pretty cool, bunch of stuff. Articulation, it's good, but a couple of misses there, like in his torso. Useless, I don't know why they'd even include it. Sculpt and paint job are excellent, well, except for I have issues on both of my heads. The one with the hat has some red stuff around the eyes, and the one without the hat has a big faded part of the domino mask. And speaking of the accessories, I do not understand why he has all these hands. It makes me think maybe they scrapped some accessories, because what does he have the larger gripping hands for? Absolutely no reason at all. If I were to rate this figure, I think I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. Stuff going against him, some paint issues, accessories that seem pointless, the fact that there's no Green Hornet, and I'm not going to count this figure off for that. But in the long run, you really have to have them both together. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.